Welcome back, engineers. This is the Duke. And in this episode, woohoo, we are going to point at you angrily. Oh, come on, do it. Ah! Okay. Anyway, sorry. I'm a dork. We're going to, if I can figure out my camera here, we're going to get this thing flyable. Now, fair warning, I have already recorded this episode once. Well, actually, I played this episode once. I had to start it over because I forgot to hit the record button. So I've already figured out what we're going to do today. We're just going to go do it. First of all, got to get into the seat here and get our tools out. And our food and water so we don't starve. And we got our GPS marker for the closest base. Might as well go ahead and get that. Oh, hey. What the heck? Okay. I don't know what I did. Go ahead and activate that marker. And see where it's at. And it is up in space. So in order to reach the first trade station, we're going to have to get out of the atmosphere. We're going to have to launch into space. So that's going to be a whiles down the road. But for now, what we need to do is queue up a bunch of resources in our survival kit and get out of our drill. And we're going to have to start mining. Because we got to get our space pod, our escape pod, outfitted to actually fly. And to do that, we're going to have to mine a bit and get some resources going. Because we're going to need a remote control and a gyro and at least two more. Well, we're going to move one thruster and then we're going to build a second. We're going to use the hydrogen engine on the hydrogen thruster on the bottom of it to build our second engine. Atmospheric thruster. So you get to see me mine. I'm not going to edit this out. I'm just going to go ahead and just leave it, because the less editing I do, the faster I can put these episodes out. Last season it got to the point where I was spending 10 times as much time editing as I was recording and actually playing the game, and it got boring and it got tedious, and I just decided, no, I'm not doing that this time. I'm going to make short little videos, little 20, maybe 30-minute videos, and they're going to be straight through. So you're going to get to see it all, including all the spots where I'm just sitting there going, I don't know what to do. All the tedious stuff, like me sitting here mining out backpacks full of dirt to make computers out of. Because we can make computers out of dirt. Because we are special like that. And yeah, this is nothing like real life. This is Space Engineers. Because in Space Engineers, we can make computers out of dirt. There we go. Hey, look! I peed my pants. Yeah, I know, I'm a weirdo. And ever since the survival update, this is pretty much how the beginning of the first 3 or 4 hours of your gameplay is going to be in this game, is this. Staring at a rock wall, digging out all kinds of stone to stick in your survival kit, because this is how Keen wants you to start your game. And it is what it is. I mean, I guess, I don't know. This isn't a true survival game. I mean, you have to actually add mods to need food and water. And most all survival games require you to go out and provide yourself with food and water. Yeah. Sleep, eat, and things of that nature. So, whereas if you're playing this game vanilla, the only really thing that can keep you from surviving is running out of power. But I don't know. It's the way it is. That's why I add the daily needs on here. It's a cool mod. It adds some extra features, extra stuff you can do, play around with, and explore. You know, it's just fun. And I like mods. I mean, why play the vanilla game when you can completely change it with like a million different mods all at once? Which is just awesome. That should be plenty enough to get us started. So, first of all, we need to take one of these thrusters off. And, oh, we need to get our bottles out of the hydrogen generator here. Or the oxygen generator. Because otherwise, that makes things a little complicated. And we'll clear out a spot here for a thruster. And we're only going to have the resources for 2 of them, because we've only got enough large steel tubes for 2. If we want to put more than that, we're going to have to get our large grid base started. So I'm going to put one forward and reverse. That'll give us enough control to get going. And then we're going to need to take off one of these landing gear. Get sideways here. Because we're going to get those extra large steel tubes from this. From that hydrogen thruster. Actually, thinking about it, because we got one from the thruster we took off here. So we've actually got 3 large steel tubes in our inventory, don't we? Yeah. So we can make 3 thrusters. So I'm going to make a 3rd one right here. So that way we can only drift in one direction. This is actually an improvement from the last time I tried this, which you guys didn't get to see because I forgot to hit the record button. Oh wait, and now I think about it, that doesn't work. The 3rd one is needed for the gyroscope. Right. We're going to go ahead and clear this out, because eventually we're going to put a thrust in all directions on this, so we might as well clear out the spots for it. And I'm going to put the remote control right there. There we go. So, we need to fix our hot bar. Because I want to put a rifle on there. And then we put a block. And then, down here, whoops, find our thrusters. There we go. And that's the one we want. Get it turned around and get it. I'm going to paint it blue so it can match our paint scheme. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put one there. And then we need gyro. And we need a remote control. We're going to put our remote control right behind the thruster here. Oh, I got to queue up the stuff for this. That's right. So, we're going to add this to the build planner. And what we do, make sure you've got which size of block you need selected here, and then you middle mouse button it, and it adds it to the build planner. And we're going to do that with the gyro too, and then we're going to recharge real quick so this thing will quit yelling at me. That's enough. we go into the ship inventory here, and we just hit this one with a cog on it. And that adds all of that to production. And we're also going to queue up, because I've already done this, so I already know that we need 17 more motors and about 10 more construction components, and that's for the extra thruster that we're going to put on here. Production. Oh, no, I want inventory. And we'll just wait for this all to build up. 2, 1. Yep. And it's all done. Throw all this in our inventory. And then we can get everything all welded up. Yay! Hold up that thruster. Oh, did I not place those? I guess not. There's our remote. There's our gyro. Weld those up. And weld up our front thruster. You know, I just realized something. Those thrusters are backwards. They're both pointed inward. Dang it. There we go. That would have been disastrous. Because they would have chewed up everything in between them. Alright. So I want that one. Turn that one around so it's pointed the right way. And then turn this one around so it's pointed the right way. We weld these up. There we go. There we are. And now our little ship will fly. If we get in here and Control K and hit Control. And before we do anything, because I kind of learned this on the last one, we want to go into our control menu and pick our landing gear here and group them up as land. I guess we can go ahead and spell it out here. There we go, and save that. And then go into our G menu and go into groups and put that on our hotbar. Switch lock. And then we can actually go in and turn the auto lock off. There we go. Just makes it a little bit easier to land. And I also want to group all of our thrusters so we can turn the thrusters on and off at will. When you first start this up, you're going to need to go in and manually turn on the thrusters that were originally on this, because they come when you spawn in, they default to off. So, and then we'll add those in with the armored thrusters I just added on here. And we'll put that in a group called thrusters. Save that. And then add that to our hotbar as a toggle on and off. There we go. That way we can turn our thrusters off whenever we want to. That saves power. Which honestly, when you lock to the ground, it pretty much turns them off. They don't use any power anyways, but I don't know. It's just something I like to do. So we can unlock. Let's get into this view. And thrust up. And get ourselves leveled. And then, in order to keep from floating off everywhere, you're going to have to spin to get yourself stopped. So otherwise you will, and you're never going to get 100% stopped just because you don't have thrust in all, you know, in all 6 directions. So yeah. And then we need to go find a place to start a base. And because I've already did this once, I've already picked out a spot. It's off over here. Right on the side of this mountain here. So we've got, this patch is iron, nickel, and cobalt, which is perfect. All these meteors here are all the components for fertilizer, which is part of the daily needs. We've got phosphorus and potassium and I forgot what the third one is. That patch right there is ice, which is beautiful. And that one there is iron and plus some other stuff that's too deep for me to see, which I'm assuming that's going to be like silver, gold, or platinum. So we're going to get over here and flare up. Try to stop most of this momentum. And then go ahead and drop down here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, don't want to go too fast. Get back into the cockpit view so I can see if we're level or not. And spin a little bit, try to get us slowed down again. Because it's really hard to land if you're floating all over the place. Try to get close to stopped. Here we go. That should do. And then go ahead and drop down close to the ground here. And get down here close enough that we can hit the lock button. There we go. We have landed. And so this is where we're going to start our base. And yeah, we got, this rock is potassium. This rock over here is potassium. Got this rock here, which I believe is, carbon. Yep. And then this rock over here, I think is phosphorus. Yep. Phosphorus. And then over here we've got nickel, iron, and cobalt, all right there. And oh, yeah, that patch right there is ice. Come up here. That patch right there, that's ice. And then this patch over here is some iron. That's ice too. I can just tell by how small it is. Let's go see. Yep, ice. There's no lakes on Mars, so all the ice you're going to find is all going to be underground. And then you got iron here, and if we go up the hill here, you'll see that there's ore underneath us, because the indicators in the... But it's too deep for us to actually see. That's normally because it's either gold, silver, or platinum, because they normally tend to be beyond the reach of your hand drills, scanners. So, but yeah, that's this episode. We're going to build us a starter base right here, and then eventually I was thinking we'd build our permanent base right here in the side of this mountain. Be a good spot for our permanent base, and I got plans on how to do that. But for now, get back over here to respawn pod, and I'm gonna sit here and jack around. There we go. Yep. I thank you all for showing up. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.